Chief Petty Officer Puckered Pete. Pete never imagined he'd stumble upon a place as wacky as Antarctica. A seasoned Navy crew chief with years of experience on aircraft carriers, Pete found himself plopped at McMurdo Station, a buzzing hub of scientific shenanigans on the edge of the vast frozen continent. His mission? To whisk scientists and their gizmos to far-flung research spots scattered across the icy wonderland. Little did he know that one such mission would lead him to a place of jaw-dropping beauty and mind-boggling mystery, Lake Vanda. Pete's chopper plopped down near the shores of Lake Vanda, its rotors stirring the icy silence like a giant spoon in a frosty milkshake. The dry valleys, a region of wild, wind-sculpted rock, stretched out around them, a stark contrast to the brilliant turquoise of the frozen lake. As Pete stepped out onto the frozen ground, the crunch of his boots on the ice seemed to echo through the vast, empty, cartoonish landscape. Lake Vanda is one of the wackiest bodies of water on Earth. Smack dab in the middle of Antarctica's dry valleys, it stays frozen solid under a super thick ice blanket. What makes Lake Vanda so bonkers to scientists is its funky, layered structure. The ice works like a cozy blanket, trapping the sun's rays and making the water warmer the deeper you go. Way down at the bottom, 75 meters deep, the water gets toasty at 25 degrees Celsius, while the air above is freezing cold. This kooky thermal layering, plus the lake's isolation and no outside water flowing in, makes it a hotspot for weird and ancient microbes. Scientists swarm to Lake Vanda to study these tough little critters, hoping to crack the code of surviving in such wild conditions. But for Pete, the real magic of Lake Vanda wasn't under the water, but in the ice itself. As Pete waddled towards the edge of the lake, he noticed something super-duper extraordinary. The ice beneath his feet wasn't the plain old white he'd expected. It was a deep, crystal-clear blue, so see-through that he could see straight through it like a giant frozen window. The sunlight filtering through the ice cast a magical, almost otherworldly glow on the frozen landscape. Intrigued, Pete plopped down and peered into the depths. What he saw both mesmerized and spooked him. The ice seemed to stretch down forever, an abyss of blue so pure and deep that it felt like he was staring into another dimension. He could see tiny air bubbles trapped within the ice, frozen in time like teeny-weeny time capsules. As he looked deeper, he noticed something else, long, jagged cracks that seemed to stretch down into the abyss, disappearing into the blue void beyond the reach of his vision. These cracks, Pete discovered, were like the ice's way of saying, "I'm under a lot of pressure here." As the ice stretched and squished with the temperature changes, it created these ginormous cracks, like the ice was doing a big stretch and yawn. The reason they looked like they went on forever was because of a sneaky trick of the light. The super-duper clear ice, mixed with the way light bounced around, made it look like the ice went on and on and on. Standing on the edge of Lake Vanda, peering into the never-ending ice, Pete felt a big wave of whoa and wow wash over him. The hugeness of Antarctica, the wild power of nature, and the secrets hiding under the ice made him feel like he was in a super cool adventure movie. His quick trip to this far-off place showed him a side of nature he never knew, reminding him of the endless awesomeness and mystery hiding in the most surprising spots.